Hello, everybody. Mr. Barker here, and I just want to take this time to go over our class syllabus with you guys in detail. All right, so we're just going to work through this thing top to bottom, and I do have some extra links and videos embedded in here for those of you that need a little additional explanation, a little bit more in-depth look at some of these aspects of the syllabus. All right, so this syllabus, the one we're looking at right now, is the virtual syllabus for my 8th grade classroom, but aside from this part right here, both the 8th grade and 7th grade versions of the syllabus are the same, okay? So this will work for either 7th or 8th grade. First off, my name is Bryant Barker. Here's my email address for anybody that ever needs it, parents or students. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need me, bbarker@bentonvillek12.org. And for any of you that have Instagram, parents or students, I would love for you to follow me at Mr. Barker, cool guy on Instagram. Now, like I said, this section here is going to pertain to either 7th or 8th grade, depending on which grade you're in. So I'm not going to go over it in detail, but this lists the primary objectives, you could say, that we're going to focus on throughout this school year. The things that by the end of the school year, it is my hope that you will have your head wrapped around and you will be able to do confidently enough that when you get to high school next year, you'll be ready to rock and roll. Okay, so you guys can look those things over on your own. Let's move into the nitty gritty. So first off, alternate assignment policy. Alternate reading assignments and projects can be provided at the request of a student and a student's parent if there is a valid objection to the original assignment. So that means that if you just don't feel like doing the work that day, you can't come to me and say, hey, I have a valid objection. I don't want to do this. Can there be something else I do? There needs to be something legit, some reason, some concern, both by the student and preferably an email or a phone call from the parent that gives me reason to truly believe that there needs to be an alternative assignment given. And if that's the case, I have no problems with doing that. Just let me know if you have any issues with any of the assignments, and I will be more than willing to work with you guys to get you something that your student can do that will be equally as rigorous as the original assignment, but will be devoid of any of the controversial or troubling topics that you might have had in the first place with the original assignment. Now, technology and web applications. Obviously, guys, this is going to be a virtual class, so we are going to be doing pretty much everything on our Chromebooks. All right, so you need to make sure your Chromebook is in good working order. Don't be using it for games, to download music. Use your personal computers for that. This is a work tool. All right, this is not something for fun. This is something for work. This is something for school. So don't bog it down, with downloads from, those websites with all the free games. Use your personal stuff for that. Okay, make sure your Chromebook is in tip-top shape, working order, because we are going to use it every single day. Now, this class is going to utilize a vast array of G Suite tools. So that means, things that Google provides us for free. Google Classroom, obviously, Google Docs and Google Slides will be where we do most of our written assignments that you guys turn in to be graded. Google Meets, that's where we're talking right now. Google Meets will be where we have our classroom, in-person sessions. Google Hangouts will be where we can work one-on-one, and, have a little time to ourselves to, really work on things that might be troubling you or things that you need extra time on, extra help on. Google Mail, now you're going to be getting, emails constantly since you are a virtual student. So please check your Google Mail regularly. And Google Drive will be where you save all of your work, all of your assignments. That way you know where things are and you don't lose them. All right. So I'm sure Google is something you guys are pretty familiar with. And if not, I've provided links to each of these for you guys to follow and get more acclimated with those particular G Suite tools. And if you have any questions about those, please don't hesitate to ask. I like to think that I'm pretty well schooled in each of those. Now, on top of G Suite applications, we are also going to utilize a lot of websites and ed tech applications to make this class as fun and engaging as it can possibly be, considering the circumstances that we find ourselves in. So this is a list of just some of the websites that you guys are going to have to get familiar with if you aren't already familiar with them, because these are going to be things that we use in my class quite regularly. All right. So when the time comes for each of these, I'll obviously take some time and walk you guys through them in a Google Meet classroom session. But for anybody that wants to check these out on your own, I've also provided links to each of these for you to peruse at your discretion. Now let's go down to the grading policy. Students will be graded for daily participation. It's classwork, homework, in-class activities, and you can expect a minimum of 2 grades a week in the gradebook. Okay, grades on eSchool will be updated on a weekly basis. Now, your grades are going to be based on assisted and unassisted scores. Assisted will account for 30% of your overall grade at the end of the 9 weeks in a semester, and unassisted, those are our tests. Those are going to account for 70% of your overall grade. So obviously, there are going to be a whole lot more assisted assignments than unassisted, all right? Because I can't give you as many tests as I give you practice assignments to get prepared for those tests. So, in all honesty, it just befits you guys. Do every single assignment that I give you and do it to the best of your abilities. All right, now that being said, like I just said, students are expected to complete all of the assignments they're given, as each assignment is going to provide you with the necessary practice to adequately prepare you for tests, for quizzes, for the end of the year Aspire assessments, blah, 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 and obviously the rigors of high school next year, or if you're seventh grade, in a couple of years. That being said, guys, you should not expect that every single assignment or activity that I give you in class is going to be put in the grade book. Okay, some assignments are going to be simply practice. There's just not enough time in the day, and I just don't have enough energy, if I'm being honest, to grade every single thing that I give you, okay? But I want you to know that there's nothing that I will ever give you that's just going to simply be busy work. Everything I give you is going to, in some way, shape, or form, give you the necessary practice and preparation to excel at the things that actually do go in the grade book. And I'm not going to come out generally and say, this isn't going to be graded, right? So you're not going to know whether or not something is going to be put in the grade book or not. So like I said, it befits you to do everything I give you and do it to the best of your ability, because everything I give you is necessary, and it's going to get you guys better at what you need to get better at, which is reading and writing at grade level. Okay? Now, these next two sections of the syllabus, I have provided additional videos, so you can follow this link or this link, and they give you more in-depth explanation of how these two things work. And throughout the year, once I give you guys assignments and tests, I'll walk you through these things again. But here we go. The biggest difference, I think, between my class and classes you might have had in the past is that pretty much everything that we do in here is revisable, is redoable, and can be resubmitted to improve your grade. Okay, very rarely, if ever, am I going to give you an assignment that is a one and done assignment, meaning you do it once, whatever grade you're given, that's the grade you get stuck with, and you just got to deal with it. All right. So there is revision opportunities for both assisted assignments and for unassisted, for tests. So let's talk about for assisted assignments. All assisted assignments are open to be revised and resubmitted if you choose to do so, or in some situations, if I come to you and ask you to do them again and we can do them together. All right. But most of the time, the assisted revisions are going to be up to you at your discretion. If you want to revise and resubmit a Google Doc or a Google Slides assignment, then you don't need to delete your previous work, though. Okay, there's a specific way that I want you to go about revising your work and resubmitting it. All right, you got to add your new answers in the comment boxes that I attach, and all of that confusing mess that I just tried to explain. If you follow this link here, in that video, I explain exactly how you go about making those revisions to an assignment that you've already submitted, so you can resubmit it and get an improved score. All right, so you can either use this link here to watch the video, or in Google Classroom, there's a videos topic. The same video will be posted in that topic all year long. So if you forget, you can just open that up and you can check it out. Okay, so anytime you want to go back and revise an assignment, before you make those revisions, before you go in and possibly just delete everything you did and just restart from scratch, watch this video, check that out to see exactly how I want you to do it, and then go about doing it. Or if you'd rather, just email and ask me and we can talk about it one-on-one. Now, group assignments, and if I'm being totally honest at this point, it's August 14th right now. School hasn't started. I've never taught virtual school before, so I'm not quite sure how group assignments are going to work in a virtual setting, but I would like to make it a reality. So if that's the case and we can actually do group work, I just want you to know that group assignments are only revisable at my discretion, since you can't, as an entire group, go in and typically redo something as easily as if it was an independent assignment. So group projects will be revisable at my discretion, meaning that you and your group will have to see me and figure out a plan to be able to redo that assignment and get an improved overall group grade. Okay, so anytime you want to redo an assisted assignment, a daily assignment, a piece of homework, check out this video and it'll walk you through exactly how to go about doing that. And then Testing, unassisted assignments. All tests are also open to be retaken at my discretion. All right, but there's a catch. Students who pass their first attempt at a test with a score of 70% or higher, you have to do a mediating assignment, a proof of practice assignment is what I call it. Proof of practice, or it might be labeled as POP. And these can be found in Google Classroom under the proof of practice topic. Okay, so anytime that you have a test, say, and you score an 80, but you want to score 100, before I give you a retest, you have to complete a proof of practice assignment, submit that, and score a 10 out of 10 on that. Okay, once that 10 out of 10 is scored, I'll email you. We'll set up a time for you and I to have a Google Hangout session and for you to retake the test B, and then hopefully that test B scores higher and your test grade improves. Students who score below a 70% though on their first attempt, you guys will be requested by me to schedule a time in a Google Hangout or a Google Meet to work one-on-one on that proof of practice assignment. That way we can identify the areas that you didn't quite understand, the things that you had trouble with. We can work on getting those things corrected. And that way, once that proof of practice assignment that we work on together, once you get that to a 10 out of 10, I can then give you the test and you can take test B. We can do that together as well, and we can hopefully see that score improve. But just know if you score a 69% or lower on a test, you're going to be asked, you're going to be requested to meet with me at a time that we can one-on-one work on that stuff and get that test grade improved. Right now, all retakes, it says, will be done in Mr. Barker's room, either before school, after school, or during seminar at my discretion. Please excuse the fact that I forgot to take that out before I realized I was being moved to teach virtual. So just know that essentially just means all retakes will be done in a Google Hangout or in a Google Meet one-on-one. That way we can work on those things together. And that way I can monitor you to make sure that you're being truthful and you're not, using any outside resources on the tests that you shouldn't be. Now, if you want a more in-depth look where I go through what the proof of practice topic looks like and I explain all that in more detail, click on this video link and I will, and you can watch that video for more information on how test retakes look, how proof of practice assignment looks, and what all that means. Right? And just like the above video, this same video here will also be posted in Google Classroom under the videos topic for you to look at any point this year. But know that when we take our first test, guys, I will go over all this with everybody again, so it should be fresh on our minds. All right? So like I said, both assisted assignments and unassisted assignments are all redoable, and more information for exactly how those assignments can be redone and retaken to improve your grades can be found at both of these video links that I would like for you guys to check out at your own discretion. All right, here's a grading scale, basic stuff, got to have it in my syllabus. And lastly, makeup work. Students who are absent will be given, the amount of days that you missed to make up an assignment. All right, and I will be very flexible. Guys, if you have missed work, typically I will take any missing assignments at any point. All right, so just don't stress too much about that. We are living in trying times, and I'm not going to be a stickler for that kind of stuff. Makeup work is always going to be an option. Okay, but you need to really try once we decide on a date, like if you miss 2 days and I say, okay, we'll try to have it turned into me by the end of the weekend. Really try to have that turned into me by the end of the weekend, just for the simple fact that gives me more time to get it graded, and that gives you more time, or it gives you a better chance to not get yourself into a hole, because more classwork is going to be coming, and the longer that you wait, the more work that you get piled up on you, the more stressful things will be. So it just kind of suits you to really try to get that stuff turned in by the time that we decide on. Okay, full credit will be given for makeup work done within these guidelines, and makeup work is your responsibility. That means if you miss class and you forget to, email me and remind me that you missed, remind me, that you need a little extra time to get that work done. You don't communicate with me. I can't, be held accountable to know, because I've got a lot of, irons in the fire. So it's your responsibility. If you miss a class, to email me, let me know, remind me that you missed, and then we can work out a time and a place or whatever to get that work completed. That way you can get that stuff in the grade book and keep your grades where you want them, which is, in the A and B range. Okay, so it's pretty simple syllabus, nothing too crazy. I would say the most confusing points will be these 2 revision policies for the assisted and unassisted work. And like I said, there are additional more in-depth videos you can watch that explain those 2 things a little bit further if you would like. But if you guys have any questions, whether it be 7th or 8th grade, over anything in this syllabus, students or parents, please do not hesitate to email me once again at bbarker@bentonvillek12.org. All right?